Good evening all. My name is Archana. Presently I am pursuing my career as primary English teacher in Sri Chaitanya Techno School, Manikonda. Before going into my topic today, I want to give an overview of the communication. Communication is nothing but the way of exchanging information between two persons or two groups or more. So here, children, can you mention me some way of communication you people do with your friends, teachers, parents, your relatives, etc. Yes, you people ask me when coming into the class that may get in teacher, may come in teacher. Then what will I answer? I'll answer get in, come in. In the same way, if you are in your home, you will ask your mummy, mummy get me some water. Then your mama will say, wait for some time, I am busy in the kitchen. In the same way, we use a group of words framed in a proper way so that we can communicate with each other. And such group of words which make the proper sense or a sense-making group of words are called sentences. Yes, the sentence is a group of words that make a proper sense. For example, here I wrote a sentence here. Tom is eating lunch. Here, who is the person here? Tom. The name of the person who did the task here is the Tom. And what did he do? He is eating his lunch. So, let us say here, the person who did the work is known as subject and the work what he did is known as predicate. You get it? The person or who did the work is known as subject and what did he, she, it, they did is nothing but the predicate. So here, before going into the depth, let us say I closed the Tom and I just gave the word eating lunch. Is it a complete sense? No. Here we don't know who is eating and what is eating. So we cannot say it is a complete sentence. It is an incomplete sentence. An incomplete sentence is called a phrase. Phrase is nothing but a group of words which doesn't have a subject and predicate. In the same way here, if I eliminate this, if I close this eating and lunch, only Tom is here. What is he doing? We don't have any idea. I am just simply showing who did. What he did that we don't know. So, we cannot say it as a complete sentence. So, in order to give a complete sentence, we should have who did, what is done. Clear? Now, before that, basing on the purpose of the sentence done, we have four types of sentences. First one is declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence and exclamatory sentence. Here, first one is declarative sentence. Declarative sentence is nothing but the sentence in which we will show some declared statements. These are also called as statements or assertive sentences in some conditions. Assertive sentence in the sense means it is nothing but in which we will show some facts such as Ramayana is the story of Lord Rama. That is the truth. So it is said to be as assertive sentence. Whereas in declaration, if you say for example, your mummy say, don't go out to play until you complete your work. She is declaring her decision there. She is showing her decision in the sentence. And such sentences are called declarative sentence. And in declarative sentence, we should use a period or a full stop to complete the sentence. Period is nothing but a full stop. According to the UK English, it is known as full stop and US English, it is known as period. Period means here stop. It should be stopped over there. The next one is interrogative sentence. It is nothing but only questions are known as interrogative sentences. Interrogation means asking. So here questions are, the function of the question is nothing but asking. So the sentences which ask something are called interrogative sentences. For example, what did you have in your lunch? Did you write your homework? What is your name? What is your country name? Where are you going for the holidays? These are considered as questions and thereby interrogative sentences. The interrogative sentences should end with a question mark. Yes, a question mark is the fixed feature for interrogative questions. It should end with a question mark. Third one, imperative sentence. Imperative sentence is basically the sentences which reflect command, requests or orders. If I ask you, please get me some water, it is considered as imperative. I am asking you. I am mentioning please means it is a request. So I am requesting you to get some water. In the same way, if I say you something like, in the assembly you people are asking to stand straight, right? So those are nothing but the commands given by our PT sir to us to stand straight and be attentive in the assembly. So commands and requests are nothing but the sentences which show the imperative sentences. The last one is exclamatory sentence. Exclamation is the main feature that is shown in the exclamatory sentences. Means emotions such as wow, ouch. The emotions we show will be reflecting in the sentence, and such sentences are called exclamatory sentences, and it should end or use the exclamatory mark. Clear, kids? So again I am recapping. There are 4 types of sentences. Declarative sentence, those are nothing but the declarations of statements or the sentences that show the facts. Interrogative sentences means nothing but the questions we use in our general life, either in written way or spoken way. Those are nothing but interrogative sentences, and it should end with the question mark. Imperative sentences show the commands or requests. It can be using a split, but it never you should use you. Here also a simple we can use full stop or a period as in case of the declarative sentence. The last one is exclamatory sentence, which represents the sentences that shows emotions like a wow feeling or pain or anger or anything. This should have an exclamatory mark. Okay, that is nothing but a simple explanation about the types of sentences. Again, I want to give a recap with my PPT. Basing on the sentence, types of the sentences. Here types of sentences are actually based on 2 types of, there are sentences, various types of sentences. One is basing on the complexity of the sentence, and the second one is basing on the purpose of the sentence. The types of sentences I mentioned you before, that is the declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamatory. Those are nothing but the sentences which are classified basing on their function or purpose. And the slides what I am about to show will be giving you further the importance of the sentence in the linguistics also. So let's start our PPT. As I mentioned before, here what is a sentence means? A sentence is a group of words containing a subject and a verb. Verb is nothing but the action done by the subject. Subject is the person or the animal who did, and the action done is nothing but the verb. In syntax, in linguistics or in the grammatical language, in depth, we will be causing as the subject as noun phrase and the predicate as the verb phrase. Subject noun phrase means the one who did. The verb phrase represents the phrase which is done by the subject and must make a sentence. Clear? Next, the sentence have 2 parts, subject and predicate. As I mentioned here, the subject can be a noun or pronoun, and predicate is a verb here. The subject is the who or what the sentence is about, and the predicate tells what the subject has done. For example, the sentences given at the bottom are: the big green frog jumped across the log. The big green frog, it is the animal who did the action. So the one who did the action is nothing but the subject. So big green frog is subject, and what it did, jumped across the log. The action what it did is nothing but the predicate. So the big green frog, in this the frog is the subject and the action done is the predicate. In the same way, my sweet grandmother wore a blue dress. My sweet grandmother is the subject and wore a blue dress is the predicate. As I mentioned you, types of sentences. Basing on the complexity, there are three types of sentences mainly. Those are simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence. Simple sentence, what I introduced you in the starting of the class. A simple subject and a simple predicate makes a simple sentence. The boys went to the park, we like pizza. Clear? In the same way, compound sentence. Compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses. Clauses are joined by a coordinate junction. Clauses are nothing but, they are not sentences but can be served as a sentence. Clause will be having a subject and a predicate. It can be considered as a sentence but they are not the sentence. So here independent clauses are nothing but they are serving as sentences. They won't depend on any other. But in some clauses there are other types also. Dependent clauses. The dependent clauses means they depend on other clauses or other sentences to give a sense. So here compound sentence is made up of only two or more independent clauses connected by coordinate junctions. In your previous classes, I already made you clear. Conjunctions are nothing but the words which join two words or two phrases or two sentences. Here in the examples, the boys went to the park but they did not go to the zoo. We like pizza and we like spaghetti. Here the boys went to the park. They did not go to the zoo are the two independent clauses. Means they can be served as sentences. But they are connected by but, which is nothing but a coordinating conjunction word. In the second line, we like pizza and we like spaghetti. They are also the independent clauses and are connected by the and, which is a coordinate conjunction. The third one is complex sentence. Complex, as the complexity increases, simple is a simple subject and predicate. Compound may include more than one predicate and one subject, and here in complex the number of sentences increases. Contains an independent clause and a dependent clause. Dependent clause begins with a subordinating conjunction. I will explain it in the example. The boys did not go to the zoo because they went to the park. Here the boys did not go to the zoo is an independent clause. It is a complete sentence by itself. Because they went to the park. They went to the park is also an independent. So here both are independent clauses and are used, and because is used to connect these two sentences. In the same way, the first example, because the boys went to the park, they did not go to the zoo. Here it is used in a different manner. Why the boys did not go to the zoo? Because they went to the park. So here one is dependent and the other is the independent. And it is a simple difference between the clause and phrase. And what is a clause and what is a phrase? While watching the football game, it is nothing but a phrase, because here no one is mentioned who did the work. No subject is here, so we cannot consider it as a clause. As I mentioned in the before, clause should have a subject. The second one is Sam ate. Sam is the subject here who did the job, and ate is the one what is done by Sam. Sam ate. Though it is made up of two words only, it is a clause. It can be considered as a simple sentence. Popcorn and chips. No one is done here. What is done here? Nobody don't know. So it is a phrase. His wife read a magazine. Subject and verb work together is nothing but a clause. Here you will have a doubt. It is read. Why is it not read? And you pronounce it as read. The past tense of read is pronounced as read. And pronunciation is very important in English language or any language. As I mentioned you in the previous slide, coordinate conjunctions are used to structurize the compound sentences. And this is a simple word by which you can remember the coordinating conjunctions. Fan, boys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. F for fur, A and, N nor, B but, O or, Y at, yes so. FANBOYS. Fan, boys. It's an easy way to remember the coordinate junctions. And the next one are the subordinate injunctions. These are as defined earlier in your classes. Subordinating conjunctions are very complex. Though it seems simple, they will be using in the complex. And these are all examples of the common subordinating junctions. As I mentioned in the before of the video, basing on the purpose, there are 4 types. Declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamative. Recently, I came to know about a 5th type of sentence, nothing but optative sentence. What? Optative sentence. Optative sentence contains the word may or long live. Example. In general, wishing comes under the optative sentence. Wish you a very happy birthday. Here in the sentence, we are wishing a very happy birthday. So the sentence contains wish means nothing but it is an optative sentence. In the same way, may you be happy, long live our president, may God bless you. These are all blessings or wishes which can be considered as the optative sentence. Till now, we got a good idea about the types of sentences. Now we should learn how we should write a proper sentence. How should we format a sentence? So, while writing the sentences, we should follow some rules. So, what are such rules? Spaces in between words. Use a finger. See, when while you people are writing, I always say use your finger space. You write a word, you keep a space, and again you write a word. Finger space gives a good look to the writing. It gives the clarity while reading. Capital letter at the start of each sentence. Yes. It is also a very good point and a very good consideration point to write the sentences. Capital letter is a compulsory to write the sentence. Next, punctuation marks. At the end of each sentence, you should clear the punctuation marks. As I mentioned before, the punctuation gives a very important role in the sentences. See, here the first one is period or full stop. It ends the sentence. When it is given, it should say stop. The sentence should be stop. And it is also having various functions in different subjects. For example, in maths it is known as decimal. So it alters the values of the numbers. In the same way, the second one is comma. Period means long stop, whereas comma means small stop, that is a pause. When a series of words are given, it is given in the after each word. For example, I like biscuits, chips, cakes and drink. So I have given a series of items like biscuits, chips and cakes. So after biscuits, I will be keeping comma because I will be giving a pause. So comma indicates a pause. Question mark. As I mentioned before, in interrogative sentences and for questions, you should end with a question mark, and it is a compulsory punctuation mark to follow. And the another one is exclamatory mark. Exclamatory mark is used in general for exclamations or wow or emotions. These are the main 4 basic punctuation marks which you should follow for the writing of sentences. Next, formulating sentences. Formulating sentences is nothing but how you have to write a sentence. So what are the basic formula we have to follow to write a sentence? As mentioned in the slide, the first one is who, and who in the slide determines the subject, who did the action. Second one is what, verb. What in the sense here indicates the predicate or verbal phrase. The next comes the why, when and where. If a sentence or if the group of words which are framed have the first two perfectly, it can be considered as the sentence, and these three give the more detail. Okay, for to write a sentence, who and what, we have to follow this. All should not be followed, it is not a compulsion, but if you want to frame a sentence completely, these can be followed to give a perfect detailing. So here I have given an example about formulating, that is stretch a sentence. This is nothing but the task by which we can reverse the sentence frame, or using it we can frame a sentence after practice. For example, as I mentioned in the before slide, the first point is who. In the sentence we don't know what is done. So first one is who. Who is the subject here? My little puppy. It had done the action here, so it is the subject. What did it do? My little puppy keeps following me round. Yes, the puppies in general, what are they do? Bhupendra knows well. Yes, he is having a dog house. So, the puppy always keeps following me round. When? All day long. Where? All day long, my little puppy keeps following me around the house. So, here, the color of the detail you need and the answer highlighted color are the matching ones. See, here in the first one, orange is who? Who did it? Puppy. So, the answer is the puppy. Similarly, here what is in purple color? Following me round. When? All day long. Where? Around the house. Why? She wants to play. So, in this way, basing on the 5 steps, you can frame a sentence. It can be a question or a regular interrogative or declarative, imperative or exclamatory sentence. Now, the next main importance is nothing but the importance of the sentences in our English language. The study of the language is nothing but the linguistics. The branch of the study of English is nothing but language is nothing but linguistics. So, basically in linguistics, we have different types of branches in detail. The first one is the phonetics. Phonetics gives about the speech sounds. That is how the sounds will be given. Phonology, phonemes. Phonemes are nothing but blends, like with A, if E combines, what will the sound? Like this. Morphology is nothing but the words. How should the words be written and how should they be used? The next comes the syntax, our considered point here. Syntax is nothing but the phrases and sentences. How the sentences should be written. What are the rules to be followed to write a sentence, to frame a sentence, either in communication, verbal communication or written communication or oral communication. So here, this is the point to be considered. So sentences play a very important role in languages and in linguistics. So without sentences, there is no language. Right? Am I clear? If I can't make a sentence, can you understand me properly? If I say books, can you understand? No, we cannot understand because books can be anything. We can take it out to play, we can take it out to show. But if I say take out the books and read, means you would take out the books and start reading. I have given a complete sense with the words. So without sentences, we cannot complete the language or we cannot complete the communication at all. Yes. Here, as I mentioned in the before slide, syntax considers the structures of phrases, clauses and sentences. It is a systematic way in which words are combined. Yes. And as I mentioned before, sentence is made up of 2 types. So, subject and predicate. The subject is nothing but the noun phrase and the actual predicate is nothing but the verb phrase. And noun phrase consists of again noun phrase and conjunction. Here in the sentence, the boy and the girl ate their tea. Okay, the boy is a noun, common noun, because it doesn't have any specificity, any name. Girl is also a common noun. Okay, a common boy and a common girl. That is why they are called as nouns. And the phrases that have the nouns are called the noun phrases. Clear? Here in verb phrase also, the phrase have a verb and a noun phrase. Because here T is a noun, it is known as noun phrase, and the phrase is having verb, it is called a verb phrase. So here I would like to conclude about the topic I have taken, that sentences. As I mentioned before, sentences are a group of words which make a complete sense, and without proper framing of the words we cannot complete the communication, because without sentence there is no communication. With the syntax we can frame the sentences, we can do anything. So we should practice writing the sentences properly, framing the sentences properly, and should be given accordingly the exercises and works to be